Nasseer Idrisi here with the Captain Peter Mowat, and we understand that this is your last voyage as captain of the JOIDES Resolution, the drilling ship.
Yeah, decided that it's time to go home and spend more time with my family, and I've been here since 1992, so it's time to turn over a new leaf and change.
Okay, good. And I'm sure everybody, and we all wish you well. And thank you for granting us this interview. And what I want to start with is if you could just give us a brief sketch of your highlights of your career, your life. And
yeah. Well, I've been a very lucky guy. I've been able to get on some very interesting ships. The JOIDES Resolution certainly ranks up very high, but I started out going to sea in Nova Scotia, and I sailed for 5 years as a deckhand and then the bosun on the Blue Nose 2 schooner sailing ship. I went into the offshore industry and ended up working in the Arctic Ocean, the Beaufort Sea for many years. And I was a captain on big icebreakers, a very famous icebreaker called the Terry Fox, named after the Canadian young fellow who did the cancer raising. So I've had a great year, a great life, and the JOIDES Resolution certainly has been a highlight of it. So I'm very happy with the way things gone.
Do you have any fond memories from any of your previous voyages on previous ships on the JOIDES Resolution?
Well, yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's been a whole lifetime, and a sailor's life's very exciting. So, and there's just unbelievable things have happened in my career, and you know, if we had a bottle of rum and a lot of time, I could tell you lots of really good stories. But it's you know, from the time I was young, I left high school and started working on the Blue Nose 2. I met you know, the Prime Minister of Canada at that time, and Gerald Ford in Washington, and when we did the American Bicentennial Sail Pass in New York, had many celebrities on board. It continued on throughout my career, and even on here, met fascinating people, and been right around the world a number of times on the JOIDES Resolution, and it's just been really exciting. It's been really good.
So you have crossed the equator. I haven't yet.
Yeah, I've been across. Yeah, I've been across, and a lot of the things that we're not allowed to divulge. You know, I can't be conned out of that.
Well, you know, there are some things that you know you have to do it yourself to experience.
That's correct. It's an age-old tradition.
It is,
and it's a very respectful tradition. It's something that sailors hold very dear to their heart, and they like to make sure that everybody's initiated into that tradition. So.
Well, talking about respect and responsibility, can you tell us a little bit about what it is to be a captain, to be in charge of this whole operation? It's a big responsibility, and you demand a lot of respect, and I'm sure the way that you achieve that respect is by respecting others.
Exactly, and a captain has to, you know and understand fully the number one rule. Number one rule is you're only as good as your people. A captain can be unbelievably intelligent, well-educated, able to do everything, but if in a ship this size and the amount of things that it does, if you don't have a dedicated and experienced staff, you're not going to look like a very good captain. So on here, this is just, it's exceptional what I have for crew. So we have an excellent record, but a lot of it comes back to the crew.
Right.
I basically just provide a little bit of steerage, you know, a bit of guidance, and respect on here it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So.
Well, and another attribute that you have is modesty, because being a captain of a big operation like this is extremely stressful.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for a lot of lives. As a scientist or as an educator, we have stressful events in our lives, but it doesn't go to the point of having people's lives in your hands.
No, but in my case, you know, I mentioned experience. I was on here as a second mate and then chief mate. I had a lot of times to understand what the jobs were all about and do things, and then, you know, of course, was fortunate to be in a position to become captain on here. And really, when you look at it, if you've got the knowledge and the experience, you know that you can do the job well, and doing the job well and not having issues causes people to respect, respect it. So it's all part and parcel. And I mean, this whole project basically is run on a very safety-orientated footing. So they don't often put us in any situations that are that dangerous, you know. And this whole project, from the owner of the ship to the client who operates it, safety is a primary concern, and we basically operate in a safe situation.
Well, and we understand and respect that, which brings me to another point. Decision making that you have to do, where the expedition requires the scientists to perform various tasks, and sometimes under extreme, sometimes not so extreme conditions, but there are times where the last word comes down to you in terms of making a decision of, should we continue on this? Should we do one thing or another? How do you come to a compromise? Because that's, what it boils down to.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Compromising with the scientists, with the chief scientist or co-chief scientist. And can you...
Well, oddly enough, I've never found that a difficult part of my job. There is parts of the job that I do find a bit difficult, and the actual political part of it and the diplomacy part of the job, I've never had an issue, and I've never ran across, maybe I've been a lucky guy, but I've never ran across anybody that was that strong-minded or stubborn that we couldn't come to some sort of agreement. So I really, it's I don't really recall ever having too many issues.
Well, and it's probably because of your personality.
Yeah,
to get along with other people, and leadership. I think, in my view, requires that you do that so that you don't come to a front.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, there's many ways to do things, and I think if you often take time to work things out and discuss things, you'll find that you can come to some sort of compromise. And that's a word that a captain, believe it or not, a captain has to use: compromise. You compromise every day. Yes, you do have the last say, but there's always mitigating circumstances. So compromise is where you want to be. Never compromise on safety, so it's pretty straightforward. And like I say, I had a lot of experience when I came here. I was in my late 30s when I came to the ship. So a lot of that, I'd already developed those skills when I got here, and they have come in handy, dealing with people and making snap decisions. That's just part of the job. So, yeah.
So my final question, what's next?
Well, I'd like to be able to break 100 in golf, and I spent all my life. My son was born. He's 17 years old now. I left on this ship on leg 143 when he was a baby, a couple months old. He's in his grade 12 year in high school, and I'm going home to spend time with him before he heads off to college, and see what else life kind of sends my way. So far, it's been great. Everything that's came my way has been wonderful. So.
Well, Captain Pete Mowat, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure doing this, chatting with you.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.